Today we're watching the funniest Elbaf moment so far, from Nami crying after Zeus abandoned her, to Sanji instantly simping for a giant lady, and Robin showing off her beautiful new haircut. Let's get started. Usopp and Luffy are so excited to visit Elbaf that they start dancing together while singing the Elbaf song. That was honestly so funny, and the animation looked absolutely insane. Dory and Brogy were explaining to their crew how they broke their weapons back in Little Garden while saving the Straw Hats. And Nami asked, "Why do you even need weapons again? Are you going to continue your duel?" And the giant sweetly replied, "Of course." At that moment, Nami completely lost hope in them. Meanwhile, Usopp is screaming with excitement about Elbaf, while Nami is drunk as hell. On the other side, Zoro was sitting there drinking like it's Red Bull with Sanji and Frankie. Then Sanji suddenly said, "Just imagine..." Zoro instantly got annoyed by Sanji's simp behavior, while Frankie was eating something called hakarl that smelled like absolute death. And at that moment, I noticed something hilarious in the background. Usopp popped Luffy's belly like a balloon. For the first time in Chopper's life, bro got drunk. The special Elbaf drink called Green Fairy is apparently some insanely strong booze, and Chopper drank it without knowing. Now let's get into the flashback, where Bartolomeo, the biggest Straw Hat fanboy alive, was selling Straw Hat merch at 50% off. That was crazy as hell. Meanwhile, in the real world, Amazon and Walmart are robbing us every day. We seriously need a Bartolomeo in real life as soon as possible. The best part of Elbaf so far was when the red hair pirates offered Bartolomeo poison and told him to feed it to Luffy. But Bartolomeo is such a real fanboy, bro literally pulled an IShowSpeed moment and drank it himself instead. Turns out it was just a prank and not real poison. But then Bartolomeo got too cocky and started laughing at red hair, so Usopp did what he had to do. Talking about funny moments, how can we forget when the Thousand Sunny suddenly went missing with half of the crew? While the giants and everybody else were panicking, Robin was just standing there calmly thinking that maybe a giant fish ate them together with the ship. Nami wakes up in a strange place looking scared as hell. And to make things even worse, a giant bee suddenly tries to bite her. She immediately calls Zeus, and bro turns the bee into a bee kebab. But then Zeus leaves her alone, and the way Nami started crying after that was honestly one of the cutest moments ever. Rate her cuteness in that moment out of 10. Nami was already scared to death, then she suddenly saw a giant porcupine. Honestly, it looked pretty cute, but the moment she screamed, it got angry and attacked her. So far, this Lego Kingdom is literally Nami's worst nightmare. We were all hoping Usopp would finally get the biggest power-up in Elbaf, but instead my guy got absolutely destroyed by a giant cat while trying to save Nami. That was brutal. After getting beaten half to death by the cat, Nami seriously started believing Usopp was dead. She almost accepted that the skeleton lying there was him. Thankfully, that wasn't true. Their friendship is honestly pure chaos. Nami thinks Usopp is dead and starts crying, while Sanji is out here saying he would be happy if Usopp died, saving her. Meanwhile, the brave warrior Usopp is still alive somehow. This moment is going viral right now. While everybody was screaming and panicking, Zoro was just standing there like he was aura farming. The Straw Hats decided to head into town so they could escape the place, but Sanji only cares about finding beautiful ladies. While Zoro instantly starts walking in the completely wrong direction. Nami is terrified of this place, but Sanji keeps doing his usual lame love tricks, talking about how much he loves Nami more than anything. Yeah, she definitely doesn't care. A guy suddenly appeared riding a giant bug and started talking to the Straw Hats. He mentioned that he serves Iscat, the giant cat that the crew just beat up so badly. Then he talks about the porcupine, and damn, Nami's reaction was priceless. She instantly knew what she had done, and then he mentioned an ear god that was actually a giant rabbit, which the Straw Hats had already eaten. This Lego kingdom is completely insane. The guy told them, if you're hungry, just go to the town. The moment Luffy heard food, bro couldn't control himself anymore and immediately rushed toward the town. While the Straw Hats were running after him because he's completely out of control, Nami stopped for a second and politely apologized to the guy. After the Straw Hats broke out of the giant display case they were trapped in, they found Chopper tied up and crying. Zoro tried to cut the ropes, but if he missed, their emergency food supply would be gone forever. Thankfully, Nami used her sneaky thief skills and uncuffed Chopper without turning him into tonight's dinner. The crew discovered they could see inside the mirror from where they were. The moment Sanji heard that, he politely asked Nami for permission to clean the girl's room.
Nami-san,
Yeah, Sanji is getting out of control again. A giant snake was about to attack the Straw Hats, while Luffy was asking Usopp for permission to kick its ass. But apparently, beating a giant snake wasn't enough. Luffy decided to transform into Nika anyway. Bro really used a nuclear bomb to kill a mosquito. While running away, they ran into the giant cat again, and this time it looked really angry, but luckily, Luffy knows exactly how to negotiate with cats. The townspeople mentioned that the rabbit who was worshipped as a god had died. The moment the giant heard that, he completely lost it and started talking trash like he was in an unscripted reality show. After a very long time, Sanji finally realized that the giant was the one who changed Nami's clothes. And at that moment, Bro decided that giant had to be destroyed. We were all hoping to see Usopp get a massive power-up in Elbaf. Instead, we got Nami roasting the giant so hard that Zeus finished the job with a thunder attack. Honestly, that was even better. Sanji saw one of the giant ladies of Elbaf, and just like that, the simp mode was activated. Bro started acting crazy. Loki asked Luffy to introduce himself, and just like every single time, Luffy proudly replied, "I'm gonna be the king of the pirates." A bunch of monsters suddenly appeared and rushed toward Luffy. At first they looked terrifying, but hold on, they were actually just giant pets playing with him. Those monsters ended up being cuter than half the animals in One Piece. Loki mentioned Shanks, and Luffy instantly got excited. He immediately asked, did Shanks come here? But Loki started mocking him and called Shanks a coward. Luffy didn't waste a single second. Bro jumped straight into Gear 4th and tried to punch Loki. Unfortunately, he missed. Robin was finally about to reunite with Saul, so she decided to cut her hair. Brooke helped her with it, almost like an older brother taking care of a child.
どうですか、ロビンさん。
バッチリよ。ありがとう、ブルック。
Honestly, it was a really wholesome moment, and Robin looked amazing with the new hairstyle. The new giant pirate crew found Luffy and instantly recognized him. Then they asked if he had been to the underground prison where Loki was locked up. Since Luffy is physically incapable of telling a convincing lie, Bro immediately started sweating like crazy.
いや、すごい汗。
この寒さで。あれだ。
Roto, the weird guy hiding behind the sun god mask, finally found Nami and Chopper again. But this time they had already prepared a trap for him, and let's just say it didn't end well for Roto. Then the rest of the crew rushed over. At first, Nami and Chopper thought they were about to get attacked, but it turned out the crew had already beaten the hell out of Roto. That was actually hilarious.
巨人のお姉様。
見ろ。
The reactions of Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp when they saw giant ships sailing across the rainbow were absolutely priceless. They looked like 3 kids visiting a theme park for the first time. Crew finally reunited, and when Nami saw Robin's new haircut, she immediately complimented her.
髪型変わってると思った。とってもいい。ありがとう。あなたたちもずいぶんエルバフに馴染んでるのね。似合う？
Honestly, Robin was looking great. It's finally time for Robin and Saul's reunion, but somehow Luffy was even more excited than Robin. Bro started running ahead of her, and Nami immediately shut him down. And last but not least, the most wholesome moment. When Robin finally stood in front of Saul, he did exactly what he used to do when she was a child and tried to scare her. After all these years, some things never change. That reunion was absolutely beautiful.
べっぴになったな。